hesitates, hangs, finishes.
Oh, great roll and a great finish.
And that has got to feel good for Zion Phillips.
Step back and it's home. Great drive and good finish.
Both these sides have started the season in dominant fashion. Well, last year, the Townsville Fire, their season ended on this very floor. They swept Perth 3-0 in the regular season before the Lynx returned the favour, defeating Townsville 2-0 in a semi-final boil-over. 6 months on, the Fire return with a new-look squad, fresh off that big round one victory over Geelong. Two of the early pack leaders, it's Perth versus Townsville. Welcome to your WNBL Wednesdays, brought to you by Ford. My name is Liam Ellison, and joined alongside me, 13-year veteran as a player, Larissa Anderson, coach of the Dandenong Rangers, led them to a grand final berth. Larissa, welcome aboard.
Great to be here, Liam.
This one is going to be terrific. Two of the teams I thought that really impressed in round one, Perth and Townsville.
They sure did. Both teams got to a great start, the perfect start for what they would have liked to kick off the 24-25 season, and both playing their brand of basketball.
Annalie Maley led the way in that round one victory over the Flyers. It was the grand final rematch. 15-point victors, and Maley had a double-double, 22 and 12.
Yeah, credit to Maley. Started off really, really well, shooting the three ball extremely well. And as her coach, Ryan Petrick, has pointed out, she has been shooting at a fantastic clip. But she still did Annalie Maley things on the board, hustling, being that inside presence. She really did work hard and off to a great start.
She did, always ferocious on the boards, and really excited to see that matchup as well at the 4 spot today with Alicia Froling. Ryan Petrick is the coach of the Perth Lynx, back once again after a successful 4-year stint so far with them, and Greg Heyer joined him earlier.
We've got Perth Lynx head coach Ryan Petrick, a very impressive first up win for the Lynx outfit. What impressed you most out of that game?
Their dare to take the game on and play that way, especially without Atwell. Like, normally Atwell's the one who's playing that reckless. For everyone else to follow suit without her was really good.
Obviously, you take 3 from 4 from Annalie Maley shooting a 3-ball, but obviously the inclusion of Allie Wilson, 8 assists, you have to be pretty chuffed with that result. Yeah,
in fairness, Annalie's 3-point shooting has been really good the last 6 months or so, as you saw in the game 2 against these guys last year in the finals. Yeah, Allie Wilson is just a jet. Like, we obviously knew a lot about her. I've been scouting for 4 years and she's been terrific, but her passing play took us a little bit by surprise, like just how good she was in that area. We knew all the other things she could do, but the passing is off the charts.
Now, Townsville, 8 players left their team to part this year. You enjoy a little bit of continuity. What do you expect from this Shannon Seaborn-led outfit?
So more scouting Shannon than he's scouting the girls. Obviously, as I said, massive roster turnover. We've got a fair idea of the coach these days, so we know what he likes to run and how he likes to play. Normally, they're very, very disciplined with their sets. They're very structured. Like, they're obviously really well coached. Obviously, early on, you expect them to be a bit rusty as they get used to the system, but they'll come home this season with a bang. So we're kind of glad we got them early.
Awesome. Well, good luck for Ryan and the Perth Lynx, and I hope you enjoy the game.
Great to hear the thoughts of Ryan Petrick there, and he spoke of his new point guard, Larissa, Allie Wilson. Well, really, the Lynx, they had a gaping hole at point guard coming into the season with the departure of Aari McDonald. Allie Wilson comes in, and an impressive start to her.
A great start, and as we were discussing off air, I think even though Allie did have a great season with the Bendigo Spirit last year, I think the way that Perth Lynx play will really suit Allie as well, and I'm excited to see her as more a prominent point guard.
She is that dynamic run-and-gun point guard that can really let it fly from 3, and Ryan Petrick really values those things.
Yeah, he's been pretty open about how heavily recruited and went after Allie. Finds her to be the perfect player for the Perth Lynx game plan, if you like. They're very run and gun. He's got a few principles in place, and then other than that, he just wants them to go. And she's already been quoted as saying she's really enjoying the freedom of being able to do what she wants out there.
Well, a new signing for the Townsville Fire is Alicia Froling, and in round 1, well, she won the Battle of the Frolings against Keeley, didn't she?
She did, and mind you, right throughout the game, I think we all enjoyed seeing the battle of the Froling girls go at it, but I think their stats were neck and neck for the entire game, but I think Alicia had a lot more players chip in around her and came out on top in the end, and I have to say I very much enjoyed their post-game interview together, and they did not hold back.
Yeah, as did I, and she's just gone from strength to strength over the last 4 seasons in the WNBL and now stepping into that starting role with Townsville. She has a big job to play this evening. And of course, Zia Cook for Townsville joined the team late, Larissa, came in off the bench, but was really good for someone who's just touched down in Australia.
Look, it's renowned that imports do tend to take a few games to settle in. I think considering she's only just arrived and she'd only came off the bench because she'd only trained a couple of sessions with the girls. So as expected, we'll find a starting role and a lot more from her tonight, but very impressive for her first game. So that's a good sign of what's to come. Absolutely excited to see what Zia Cook can produce throughout WNBL at 25. Let's welcome in Greg Hire, who is going to be courtside throughout the evening. 4-time NBL champion with the Perth Wildcats. Great to have you with us, Greg. Welcome.
Oh, pleasure to share the coverage alongside yourself, Liam and Larissa, and it's going to be a tantalising matchup between these two very contrasting styles. As you guys both mentioned, you've got a half-court potent defense or potent offense against a run-and-gun style, and I love that quote from Ryan Patrick. They love to play reckless, but I'm excited to see if there's a weakness in the Perth Lynx. Potentially, it's their front line, and how does Lauren Cox and Alicia Froling go against that sort of small positionalist Lynx outfit? But it's going to be an exciting game, and I'm looking forward to sharing alongside you guys.
Absolutely, Greg. Interested to see how that does go. It is a game of differing styles, I think, Larissa.
It sure is. You've got Townsville as more the half-court, disciplined, structured team and a lot more defensive focused versus Perth, who are run and gun, take the game on. You see Ryan tell them, go, 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 back yourself and just take it on, and they try and outscore teams. So I think the one thing that will be interesting, Townsville more focused on their defence. Perth had 19 turnovers in game 1. That might be an area for Townsville to focus on.
No doubt that'll be something that they look to clean up. Our referees today, Travis Stewart, Craig Copes and Zach Bosnakis. Over here in the nation's west, round 2, Signet WNBL. Tips off here on your WNBL Wednesdays. And the Lynx win it down. Both sides coming off round 1 victories. 2 of the early contenders. Here's Letitia Amihia. Provides the handoff to Wilson. Penetrating through the keyway. Lauren Mansfield, another of those new Townsville players in season 25. Froling with the 4 blocks in round 1, and hitting the deck hard was Wilson. It's an offensive foul.
Nice hard screen there.
And it was. Setting the tone early.
It sure is, and that's exactly what they want, though. They want to be physical. They are very structured in that half court, but unfortunately got called the offensive foul there.
You can see on screen Maley and Froling there matching up, and speaking of physical, we could see a bit of that this evening, Larissa.
I'm hoping so. There's some really great matchups out there, particularly between Maley and Froling, so watch that carefully.
Honey here puts it on the deck, showcasing the handle.
That's a really nice start. They've isolated that high post the first couple of plays, so it's paid off there.
Lauren Cox went immediately over the timeline. Woods zigzagging inside, just off. Front position was Cox. And Larissa, she was terrific last week.
And she's not going to get any shorter as the game goes on. So another area that Townsville could really try and exploit. As opposed to that, when you come up against a more athletic player that's taking Cox on.
Lightning start from Letitia Ami here. You noted, Larissa, that sometimes the imports take a little while to settle into the league as Froling right back at her with a left-hand lay-in.
It's forward v forward right now.
Maley looking to push the pace. Milasowa steps into a mid-range Jade. Townsville with Woods.
Nice take.
Running away through for the first 2, Courtney Woods. Fast start here at Bendat Basketball Centre. Wilson into the body. Count it. That'll go for Ali Wilson.
And that is exactly the style that Perth Lynx want to play. It is just go. There is no pulling it out and setting up a structured set. It is just attacking, run and gun, score.
17 points, 8 assists in her debut for the Lynx last Saturday against the Southside Flyers. Couple of home games to start the season for Perth, always handy.
It is always nice to get and particularly if you get the wins, they're very valuable.
On the flip side, Townsville, it's their second game on the road to start things. It's a long way, that's for sure. It's the longest road trip in the league.
It really is, and now that it's 3 hours difference for Victorians, 2 hours obviously for Queensland, but it still makes a big difference when it's a later game.
Never been a club to make excuses, the Townsville Fire. Fowler into the ball game. Mansfield stops and fires. Maley involved early. Putting it down, Abby Ellis. Another player who was terrific in round one, and Michelle Timms was one that was impressed, her former coach at junior level. Unlucky.
Right idea there by Mansfield. Needed to bounce it off a Perth player.
Fire pressing up. Great to have your company on WNBL Wednesdays. No doubt from Mansfield. Rematch of last season's semi-final series when the Lynx swept Townsville 2-0. Bring it back in via Chivatoni. Annie here, assessing. Turns, fires with the mid-range J.
Soa is just coming along in leaps and bounds, and again, the Perth style really suits her also. You can see she's not going to die wondering. She's very aggressive offensively.
Woods. Now Ellis around the pick. Rolling, diving to the basket. Single-digit shot clock. 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. Woods slicing through, and the floater goes as the buzzer expires.
Tough finish by Courtney Woods. So impressed with her, another player that just keeps improving every season.
Maley was able to recover. Looks to take Fowler off the dribble.
You can see Perth just keep going one-on-one every time up the court.
Woods through a bevy of defenders. Screen arrives from Froling into the corner. Fowler, feet set for three. Another offensive rebound. Second of the game for Townsville, and the two for Froling.
You can just see Alicia working so hard to get the position on that offensive rebound.
Wilson battling inside and kept her balance beautifully.
Allie Wilson is absolutely taking authority in that point position. Very aggressive.
Paris Olympian with the 3-on-3 Kangaroos as Woods battles through for two.
These girls would want to be fit with the pace that they're going right now.
The 4 Olympians coming into WNBL 25 Perth. So turnaround Jay won't go, but of course one of them unable to suit up this evening, unfortunately, Amy Atwell. And miss her, one of the best scorers in the league, no doubt.
Yeah, it's a real shame Amy hasn't been able to start the season. I believe it is a knee injury and they're not quite sure how long, but it's looking like it could be up to a few weeks, unfortunately.
2 shots at the line here for Froling. Great pocket pass from Mansfield. Froling had a massive outing. 4 blocks in that game, 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 steals as well.
Coming off another really strong NBL1 season with the Knox Raiders. Just really does work hard, very agile. She's a challenging matchup because she's so quick and agile up and down the floor, works so hard.
I mean, here, another one. Up to 6 already in the first quarter.
Great start by Amy here. She was, again, first game, jitters, finding her way. She looks really impressive so far in game 2.
Shaping up to be a real bounce-back game from Letitia Army here. Early days in the first quarter. Woods again inside. Points in the paint for Townsville going.
Great basket there by Woods. You can see a lot more one-on-one going from Townsville at the end. It's almost a little bit more like the Perth brand.
Oh, Wilson Cash. We know she loves to let it fly.
When you're playing full of confidence, look out.
1-point ball game. Ellis. Zia Cook enters for the first time. Froling out on the perimeter, 6 seconds. Ellis has the mismatch with Amy here. She stays with it and denies. Great defense from Amy here.
Fantastic defense. And this is exactly what Perth is designed to do. That everybody can shoot. They can switch every on ball so that they can just be really aggressive.
Ryan Petrick would be pleased with what he's seeing early as Zia Cook takes an early seat.
Looks like she's making an adjustment of some sort. Hopefully she's okay.
Hope so. Amy here. Selling early. Gorman into the ball game. A turnover and the open floor for Woods. Fast start here for both sides. Maley handling the rock. At that time from 3. And Saffron Shields with her first game of the season after missing in round 1. Great to see her out there.
Absolutely. And this season's going to be about this already. So many young up-and-coming players that are getting the opportunity to get out there and play.
No doubt retain the basketball as Townsville. 10-second shot clock. This is where they excel. So well drilled the fire. Find Ellis. Elbow jumper is strong. And Choikard into the ball game. Gorman, early 3 ball. Looked online.
You can see normally majority of coaches will say that's not the shot to take. We didn't have a rebounder, but Perth just backed themselves. That's their game plan, and Ryan Petrick says sometimes it's going to pay off, sometimes it doesn't. Just go for it.
Saffron Shields battling through, and that's her first 2 of the season. And a timeout on the floor. Townsville 20 lead the Perth Lynx 15 here with 2:51 remaining in the first quarter. Chance to stem the tide.
Chance to take a breath. That was a lot of up and back.
As Amy Atwell into her team as Ryan Petrick joins the fray. Saffron Shields, a product of the COE. Appeared in 14 games last season with Townsville as a 17-year-old.
I really love that they're giving that opportunity, so they'll kind of, like Courtney Woods, she's done her time, works her ass off, and then gets rewarded for it.
Shannon Seabohm caught up with Greg Hire earlier. In fact, we'll get to that a little later on. It's a 5-point ball game. Shannon would be pleased indeed with what he's seen from Townsville so far.
Absolutely. I mean, although they are already 15, they were 15 points with 5 minutes to go, so they were headed for a 30-point quarter, but the last 4 possessions or so have been much, much better.
Nice start here, 10 points for Courtney Woods. Gorman. Top of the keyway with 12 seconds. Choikard poked at it, and the steal, peeled her clean. Gotta love the hustle from Alex Fowler.
That was really good D, and that's exactly what Townsville want, and what they would have been discussing in the timeout. Just get up and in and be really aggressive defensively.
This is what Perth want to avoid, as you noted, the 19 turnovers in the round 1 game. They don't want to see too many, go early, and then perhaps you start to get the jitters.
Yeah, absolutely. They obviously, that's the one area they needed to look after the ball, and already they've got a few turnovers to their name. They're just discussing, unsportsmanlike. So you need to have a legit play for the ball on a fast break, and that was deemed not to be so there.
Yeah, spot on. It's an open floor for Alex Fowler, and now she's got 3 throws as a result. Greg Hire, how are you seeing things so far in the first quarter?
Well, I've just been waiting to catch my breath seeing them go up and down, but it's been a very interesting sort of style of play. We discussed sort of Townsville playing quite slow, but they have this intent of attacking their weakest player, Mackenzie Clinch-Hoycard, numerous times, and we saw that. I'm not sure what the statistics are, but they clearly have this strong focus of trying to attack inside, as we see Fowler, which was nice to see her having an emergence into the game. I know we've been talking about Townsville Junior back in. Unfortunately, with Lauren Cox in foul trouble, we saw the play of Fowler come straight into the game. But, yeah, geez, what a start from Townsville Fire.
Great to get your thoughts, Greg. And Cox in some foul trouble. It is a blow for Townsville.
I think both teams are focusing on attacking certain players. I mean, I think for Perth, Townsville have a clear height advantage, and but then they think they're obviously at an advantage with their speed. So you can see they're attacking, and then likewise Townsville are doing the same.
7-point advantage. Cook back out there after a short spell. Running here with the length. Strong on the three, Froling. Long rebound favoured her. And now with a fresh 14, it's Saffron Shields. Kicked over to Woods. Around the defender and a defensive foul. It'll go on Gorman. Make sure you're following all the live stats of today's game in the free WNBL app. You can also check out game highlights, team and player info and more. Download it from the App Store today. It's a must if you're watching along at home. WNBL app. Sideline basketball for the Fire. Cook. Patient approach. 7 seconds to work with. Falling at the seal. Cook inside. Battling there is Abby here, as is Froling. Ripped it out of her grasp.
Credit that to Cook. Did not give up the possession then. Really great job on the boards by Townsville.
To a 9-point margin. Townsville on a mini run here. Tage Morell into the ball game. Abby here hit the deck. Whistle from the referee.
Townsville took a moment to realise they could pounce on that then. I think they all wondered what happened.
Minute 12 remaining in the first at Bendat.
22.
Shields, running point. Woods. Terrific early Froling in the corner. That is dangerous. Woods unable to connect that time, but she will make you pay from distance.
Yeah, they got out of jail free there for that one. Woods would normally knock that down, but Townsville are doing a fantastic job in the offensive boards. That's something Perth really needs to address here. They must block out.
Amy here. Stella in the first. Soa penetrating through 3 defenders and a turnover. Pushing the pace this time, it's Cook. Turnover this time favours the Lynx. Soa, kick out, quick trigger and makes it. Bingo from the corner. Clinch-Hoycard gets it to go.
They needed that. That's their first score in about 4 minutes. Great basket there.
Froling. And Morell off the deck.
Great start by Alicia Froling again.
Clinical. Continues to see that scoreboard ticking over for the Fire.
That's 10 points already to Woods and Froling. Great start for Townsville.
Oh, it'll be a kick ball.
Didn't think they were going to call that then.
Saffron Shields would have been away. It's 4.7 on the game clock. It was an 84-58 opening round victory for Townsville, and they have started off in style. Soa, has she drawn the whistle? I think she has. That'll be 3 free throws.
I'm thinking Shields might wish she could have that time back.
Yeah, I think so.
Good heads-up play there by Miller.
That'll be frustrating for Shannon Seabom. Stay powered with Signet, Australia's favourite power bank brand. Keep your devices charged and never miss a moment of the Signet WNBL. Visit signet.com to find your perfect power bank.
Don't ever send a shooter to the foul line and let her get her eye in.
Spot on. Especially Mila Sowa, who is a terrific three-throw shooter. That'll do it for the end of one. Townsville, 26, lead the Perth Lynx, 21. We're in Perth for your WNBL Wednesdays, and it is the Fire with the lead after one. 26 plays 21. Ali Wilson has been electric out of the gates with 7 points after what was a terrific debut. And Zaya Cook off the bench once more in this one, showing the hustle along with Alicia Froling, who's got 10 points and 5 rebounds in the first. Liam Ellison and Larissa Anderson with you on the call. Here's your leaders for the Fire. Froling's been awesome.
She is absolutely 10. That's a good halftime stat. So for first quarter, that she absolutely has to be a focus for Perth here to slow her down.
A steal, 3 offensive boards, and 4 of 4 from the field for Froling. That is a picture of efficiency. And here's the leaders for the Lynx. Ali Wilson with 7, and Letitia Ami here had 6, all on drives to the bucket. And Greg Heyer, how have you seen things after the first quarter?
Yeah, I think the most interesting stat when I look across the board is the lack of rebounds from Anneli Maley. Not often do you see her with no 1 rebound to quarter time, and I think we'll see that effort. Much was spoken about at that huddle by herself, even Amy Outwell, and more so Ryan Petrick, that they should be down by a lot more, not 5 points. 5 turnovers, not 1 O-board and 4 O-boards. When you're talking about the possession game, that really needs to get changed in that second quarter.
And Larissa, it's 12-5, the rebound count in favour of Townsville, so really paints a picture.
It really does, particularly on the offensive board. So Perth, hopefully they are focused on blocking out here too.
Lauren Cox back into the ball game with the 2 personal fouls early. And Nia Locke for her first minutes. Cox inside. Footwork. Post work sublime from Cox.
That was just a classic back to the basket post move there, and hopefully she can stay out of foul trouble so we can see more of her.
Sowa with the treble.
That's why you don't send shooters to the foul line. Great shot there.
Ability to get her eye in. Cox. Locke was great on her debut last week, 8 points.
There's the battle we love. Froling and Maley going at it, exactly what we were hoping for.
Turnover. Wilson Numbers if they go quick. Chibatoni. Kick out. Clinch Hoycard hit on one. There's Maley on the glass. That'll be a welcome sight for Ryan Petrick. Offensive foul against Sowa.
It's great defense there by Alice. Just anticipated where Mila was going to go and got rewarded accordingly. Great D. Sometimes if you just sell it that little bit more, it gives you a better chance.
You've got to do it, don't you, professionally?
Yeah, absolutely.
Make sure the referee sees it. Ellis. Perth 2 of 4 from 3 so far. Townsville 0 of 5. They've done so much of their work through points in the paint in this one. Cox. Ellis with 6 seconds. Generally in the offense. It's a great mid-range J off the dribble.
That was really nice. Very poised. Great mid-range jump shot.
Abby Ellis out of Purdue. Just out of college and doing really well so far in the professional leagues. So feeling it at the moment. Maley quickly crushing the glass and a foul. There's your effort rewarded.
So that's already 2 offensive rebounds for Maley. So not only does she call herself out, but it was obviously a focus from the Perth Lynx, and they've responded accordingly.
A couple of Kangaroos teammates facing off in this one. Wilson and Maley, and then Hansfield on the far side.
Don't think she was happy with that miss.
She's good on the second.
Yeah, happy with that.
Brings it back to a 2-possession ball game. Ellis releases Frolic. Gets downhill. Kick out. Lock. Set. Now a chance to draw something up. 2-man game with Frolic. Ellis. Oh, spinning out of trouble. Won't go down, but just falls over to Ellis, and Froling is fouled. Maley has a lot to say. This is the energy we love.
This is exactly what we're here for. It is. You'll see Alicia Froling complaining about the same thing up the other end. They are both leaving it all out there. Both very physical players playing hard for their team.
She hit the deck hard, Annalie Maley. Well, maybe it could have been some contact. It's 3 throws for Froling. Perth crowd letting her hear it. Second one goes. Maley over the timeline. Wilson. Oh, lost Nia Lock. That was a chance for a highlight play. Cox. Nervous moments. Got there to Ellis. Woods. There's been a calm head so far in this one. Ellis driving baseline.
Nice
what
pass.
a dime! No look handoff to Froling.
Froling does a really nice job moving off the ball. And you could just see how disciplined Townsville were there. They kind of broke down in their half-court set, but they kept moving the ball.
Had a foot on the paint. That'll be out of bounds. And Annie here checks back in. There's that assist again to Froling. Abby Ellis with a bit of room service.
She's had a great start to her first season in the WNBL, Ellis.
She really has. She was impressive in round 1, getting the starting nod as well. Obviously, JC Sheldon leaving the lineup, probably not something she would have expected a couple of weeks ago.
No, but she's earned that, and she's playing hard both ends.
Woods connects on the 3 ball. Double-digit lead for the first time this evening. Maley puts an end to that.
That's their game, transition, no thinking, just shooting. Ryan
noted in the pre-game just how good Annalie Maley's 3-point shooting has been in the last 6 to 12 months. We saw it on show there.
They obviously put a lot of work into their 3 ball.
Froling battling with Maley.
You can't give up front position like that. Froling is really efficient around the basket, particularly with that back to the basket move.
Now up to 15, Alicia Froling. Amy here to stretch the floor, bullseye.
Didn't look overly comfortable, but if you're going to play off, that's the right move to him. That's the right shot.
I like to let it fly, the Lynx. Connected on 4 triples now, 4 of 8. Zaya Cook off the pine. In rhythm. Maley can't believe it.
No, Maley's thinking, what happened to my hands? They were right there. That's probably the easiest rebound she's ever let go.
Baseline ball. Mansfield. 14 on the shot clock. Froling again providing the screen. Mansfield's terrific pocket pass. All clean from Letitia Annie here, and Fire will have it again. Just 4 seconds reads the shot clock. Greg Hire, how are you seeing things in the seconds?
I can't help but be super impressed with how composed Courtney Woods has been. Prior to the game, I had a quick chat with Shannon Seaborn regarding her leadership that she has to demonstrate. As we just saw, Ali Wilson record a huge block and Mila Solar drive to the baseline. But Shannon spoke about her emergence over the years, and you can't help but think with Steph Reed leaving, Satina leaving, Elise Koenig, Sammy Wickham, she's just relishing her role with this leadership as a captain, and can't help but be impressed with how well she's leading this team today.
Yeah, spot on. 31 plays 38. Townsville in the lead. Larissa, Courtney Woods, the only player returning who played over 10 minutes per outing for the Fire this season. And as Greg noted, I think it's a great point. She really is now a leader and has just improved year on year under Shannon Seaborn, and now a player they really rely on.
Yeah, it's on the back of what I was saying earlier. Just so impressed with how hard she's worked season after season, taking whatever role, copying it on the chin, continuing to work hard, and now she's starting as captain. She's done such a fantastic job.
Fire shooting at a 53% clip so far in this ball game. The Lynx, conversely, going at 50%, 11 of 22. Halfway through the second quarter at the Bendat Basketball Centre. Seven-point advantage to the visitors here in Perth. Townsville just looking composed there in the huddle. They're getting the job done here, shooting the ball above 50% from the fields. They've done so well just using that advantage inside. Is that what you expected, Larissa?
Well, you would think so. There is a clear height advantage, and you need to go to that. They have so far. It's hurt them through the offensive rebounds, but now that you can really see they're starting to get some better post feeds as well. So it's something Perth's going to have to address.
Mansfield's wanted to release Froling, not to be. Maley's there. 2-on-1 on the break. Annalie Maley's got involved here in the seconds.
Much stronger second quarter by Annalie Maley so far.
Woods leading the way. 13 points for the Fire so far. Shaw in the backcourt with Zaya Cook. Now 6 seconds. Oh, Maley just rose up and snatched it. Trying to lift Perth back into this one. Wilson provided space to work with for Maley. Nylon. Timeout. Townsville want to chat things over. It's back to a 2-point ball game, Larissa Anderson.
Great job by Ali Wilson there. Fantastic second quarter so far by Annalie Maley.
Didn't register a rebound in the opening quarter, Maley. And hasn't she responded? Hitting on the 3 there in the corner. Now 6 points to her names. And Greg Hire, you were listening in the last time out with Shannon Seaborn. What did he have to say?
Yeah, there's a real clear structure, a point of emphasis. They need to try and play downhill and attack the Lynx. They're 4 or 5. And really, use that coverage action to I guess, put them in situations where they're going to struggle defensively. He's identified their help rotation isn't on point just yet, and you'll sort of see Courtney Woods, slice down to the corner. That's basketball terms, but you want to sort of space that floor. Unluckily for them, Lauren Mansfield did a great pocket pass to Alicia Froling, who was unfortunate not to get it. And we're just seeing now the barometer that the Perth Lynx rely on, Anneli Maley. I mean, we called her out, unfortunately, to have no rebounds, but she's really turned this game on her head, and you can say she's a big difference in this second quarter and more so the game.
Yeah, the barometer is a great way to put it. In fact, she's notched over to 9 points, 2 threes in this quarter alone for Maley. Launch them back into this ball game with the energy.
Well, for me, it's on the back of Perth actually playing some defence. They're getting a lot of deflections, and that's the kick drive for their fast break basketball that they love.
And they've stepped up. You can see them here. Rotating. Mansfield's extra pass. Cook was open. Long rebound, favoured the Fire. Woods again. Mansfield from the right wing, buckets.
Really high percentage basketball there, very disciplined. Get the ball back to the middle, pick and roll, kick it to the open shooter.
Chibatoni, dump off pass, and Amy here has bounced back so far in game 2, up to 8.
She sure has. It's a great first half from her in game 2.
Mansfield's screen arrives. Now we'll keep going to the well with Mansfield in the pick and roll. Cox from the corner.
3. Big shot. This is really high-quality basketball, as we expected, from two teams that have come off the back of a great win in round 1, and they're not disappointing in the first half so far.
Maley. Could it be 3 in the quarter? You bet. Anneli Maley from deep.
She clearly loves that wing spot.
High-quality basketball indeed between two of the contenders, you feel. Woods, skip pass. Cox, could she do it from the other side? Mansfield just caught her unawares. Great timing. To steady the ship.
Yep.
Oh, plenty of
Great
space.
decision.
You simply can't do that.
Yeah, that's a bit of a breakdown there by Perth Lynx. Whether they were meant to switch or not, that wasn't aggressive. Lauren Mansfield made the perfect decision there.
She made them pay. Mansfield has been terrific. Combo guard here for the Fire. She's got 4 dimes.
She was only 2 from 9 from the 3 in game 1, so that's a great response by, well, she's a beautiful shooter, so it's great to see her putting them up early.
It's only a matter of time. Maley dumped off, and Cox denied, no. Caught the arm of foul call.
So on Cox, that will...
Tisha Ami here will go to the free throw line. And that'll be number 3 if it is indeed on Lauren Cox.
I think they need to check with their supporters there. I don't know if that's a Townsville supporter.
I've got some representation, clearly.
Love a bit of a heckle.
It was effective on the first.
Very effective on the second.
There you have it. Mansfield. 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Fowler rolling to the bucket. Cox from the elbow.
Cox is showing some really good range here. Out early with foul trouble and really making her mark in the second quarter.
Wilson. Cook right there with her. Trying to battle around that screen. Calling all sports teams, say goodbye to travel headaches and hello to CTM Sport. CTM are 100% committed to delivering excellence in our field. Leave the logistics to the travel experts so your athletes can focus on what they do best. Learn more at ctmsport.com.au. Ami here. Looking to drive on Froling. It's been effective. Not quite, but Sowa on the O-glass. Gorman off the pine and in from 3.
They just do not hesitate from that 3. Great offensive rebound there.
Now 8 of 12 from deep. Woods inside, some first half from her.
Yeah, great response. I mean, both teams heading at Townsville on 51 points now with still a minute and a half to go. There's some great shooting going on, not a lot of defense.
Amy here just seems to be causing some matchup issues on the perimeter.
Well, she's attacking. She's obviously targeting their bigs, particularly now that Cox is in a bit of foul trouble, and now, so she's out, then Fowler comes in. They would love to get Alicia Frolling out, so I think it's been a clear target from the Lynx right from the start of the game to really attack Townsville bigs. Get one of them out of there. And she is a very athletic, long player. I mean, why wouldn't you try and attack?
And she is really dynamic, quick off the dribble. Unlucky on the seconds. Some struggles on the free throw line for the Lynx. Woods going into their half-court game. Skipped over to Ellis. Rowling was in the vicinity. Now 6 seconds. Now the Ellis bail them out.
Better put this up.
Was it in time? No. Defense got them back into it a few minutes ago, Larissa. We see it on show there for Perth.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to play a run-and-gun game, you're going to have to play some defense, or else you are going to just exchange baskets, which is what predominantly a lot of this first half has been.
Despite that, though, it has hovered around this 7 to 8 point margin that we see for Townsville. Wilson battles around Ellis.
She's really attacking Alice, and so far I think she's winning that battle.
Oh, picked off. Maley with the steal. The skipper for Perth has led by her actions. It's Gorman with a deep three. Amy here. Wilson opted against the attempt from deep. Shot clock dark here at Bendat. Last possession for the Fire. Mansfield. Maley has the assignment. Great defense. Chance for one more. No, that'll do it for the end of the first half. The Townsville Fire with the 5-point advantage here. And it has been fast-paced, really high-quality hoops, Larissa Anderson.
It has been really fast-paced and very entertaining. Some great shooting, some great offensive boards, some great post moves, great steals, a bit of everything. Really has been a great first half.
We knew we were going to get the differing styles so far. Well, it's been Perth who've let it fly from 3. They've hit on 8, going at 61% clip. And it's hard to believe, given that stat, that they trail in this one.
They're Town, I know, but up the other end, Townsville are doing a really good job in the half court, as we anticipated.
Greg Hires got the Townsville skipper.
That's right, we've got Courtney Woods, who's been absolutely simply sensational, 15 points to your name. How are you feeling after that first half?
I'm very tired. Perth's really tough offensively, so it's really hard to keep up with them, especially this early in the season. But we did an okay job, but yeah, definitely need to do a bit better job on defense in the second.
You spoke about that. You sort of brought them back into the game. You had a little bit of comfort. Would that be spoken about at halftime, obviously?
Yeah, I mean, Perth are going to go on runs. They've got a very talented group that can shoot the you-know-what out of the ball. So we just kind of got to weather the storm and then go on our own runs. But yeah, they had a run there, and they'll probably have a run in the second half. But we just got to keep our head down and keep trying.
Awesome. Well, we'll let you go back into the change rooms. Courtney's been absolutely sensational and hopefully much more of the same in the second half. Good luck to her.
Yeah, she really has 15 points, 7 to 10 shooting for Courtney Woods, and the steady hand so far to see her Townsville Fire lead this one at the halftime break. 51 plays 46.
Away from the basketball court, as social as I am, I spend a lot of time alone. My social battery runs out pretty fast. I am an avid fantasy reader that reads a lot of fantasy adventure romance, lots of dragons. I do a lot of art, I'm very creative, and I spend a lot of time at the beach with my dog. I've really been enjoying the media side of commentating games and my own podcast, which is awesome. I'm able to talk to some incredible athletes. Okay, so that's actually maybe the most important question in the episode. Tell me about your dog. When I came to Perth last year, I immediately fell in love with the place, and I've said it a few times, but that group of people and the coaches and the staff, but mostly the girls, really helped me fall in love with the game again. I'm an energy player, I'm a hustle player, I rebound, I run and I push the ball. I'm incredibly lucky to be surrounded by some really great athletes that uplift each other, and as well as, the on-court energy, off-court, I am the captain, so I look to really support my teammates and be there for them as much as I can. We were the first ever Australian 3x3 kangaroo team to go to the Olympics. Such an amazing experience, and all of the experiences off court were just as formative as the ones on court. I think my biggest lesson from that experience is that, we're not taught failure. Having the goal of being on the podium and falling short of that, and experiencing failure on that level, but redefining it to have failure be a positive thing and failing forward. Did we fall short of what we wanted? Absolutely. Are we going to do one better next time? Hell yeah. My role in the team this year is going to be similar to my role in a team every year. It's just really support the people around me and pour into everybody else, and they pour back, and on the court just doing the things to help everybody else be successful, and it all comes back like karma.
Welcome back to your WNBL Wednesdays, brought to you by Ford. It is the Townsville Fire who have the lead at the halftime break over the Perth Lynx. Liam Ellison here alongside me is Larissa Anderson. Great to hear a little bit about Annalie Maley there, who in the second quarter really led from the front.
She really did. Some pretty quirky details about Annalie there. I love those insights. But yeah, after a bit of a flat first quarter, she was fantastic in that second quarter.
Yeah, we noted, no rebounds in the first half, which is just unheard of for Annalie Maley. But 12 points just came out roaring, hit on three balls. We know that's an improved part of her game. Helped the Perth Lynx get back into it, but despite that, it's just sort of hung around this 5 to 8 point margin throughout.
Yeah, I think Perth just strung together on the back of Annalie some really good defence there. Their deflections, when they're switching really aggressively, they were getting a lot of hand on ball. They were running off that, and that's the game they want to play. You can see they do not... they don't give it a second thought to pull the trigger. But they've got to get some good defence going. You can see there with Froling, they've got 11, Townsville have got 11 offensive rebounds, and right now that's the difference in this game.
Ali Wilson, here's one of those threes to Annalie Maley. And Wilson and the Lynx, they have pushed the pace as we knew they would. Here's your halftime leaders. It is Woods and Froling with 15 apiece, and they've really battled inside the Fire with the rebound advantage.
They really have. So again, 11 offensive rebounds is way too much. That's heading to 22 offensive rebounds for the game. Unless Perth continue as they are to shoot from the three-point line, that makes it a really tough night. But you can see there, in terms of Maley, Woods, Amihir, Froling, Wilson, Cox, the point spread is pretty even on both teams. So it's a great battle.
Two startling numbers, 11 offensive rebounds at the half, 61% three-point shooting, conversely, for the Perth Lynx. There's your differing styles, as we noted. But one of the reasons why Townsville have crashed the glass just so well is Alicia Froling.
She just does such a great job. So we discussed in the pre-game how Froling and Annalie Maley were going to be such a great matchup. They both go hard, they leave it all out there, and they just battle. And you can see Froling here, the inside-outside. She just does not stop. She's got some great back to the basket moves. You can see a nice little tussle there between the two of them, which we exactly expected, but she just works so hard on the boards, and right now she's being rewarded.
She really is. Now in her 7th WNBL season, Alicia Froling, and her numbers have just improved year on year, and now with this starting lineup opportunity with the Fire, you just feel like this could be a real breakout season. We've seen her put up big numbers in the NBL 1. It could translate now to the WNBL.
Well, it clearly is, and credit to her. She's worked really hard. Everyone's talked about it very publicly, how she's changed her shooting technique, shooting hand. She's obviously, I mean, I see her throughout that off-season. She works really hard, and it's great to see a player rewarded because there's no secret to success. You've just got to put the work in, and she's clearly doing that.
Let's check out the top 5 plays from round 1 of the Signet WNBL.
And another backdoor cut.
I mean, that's just fantastic conditioning.
5 seconds to go on the shot clock. Alicia Froling's got the open floor. Hard foul came across. No. All clean.
Melbourne again, the take, and again she'll go to the free throw line for one more. It's like a really concerted effort from Melbourne to get to the paint, get to the rim.
Then Kaiser into the ball game. Sacked for quite some time with those 3 personal fouls, Kaiser. Cook with a handle. Little shitty move and the scoop up and in for the finger roll lay-in.
Finds Wilson in transition. Great drop-off pass.
Oh! Highlight reel stuff.
Just a reminder, everyone, merchandise is available for purchase, so make sure you look the part there at Bendat. Make sure you're wearing that link colour, the merchandise table.
Welcome back to the nation's West here. Perth Lynx, Townsville Fire. Townsville have the 5-point advantage at the halftime break in the rematch of last season's semi-final series. Liam Ellison here alongside me is Larissa Anderson, 13-year WNBL veteran and former coach of the Dandenong Rangers. And we're just a few moments away from the third quarter getting underway And this season, the WNBL is taking a stance against domestic violence. Putting a stop to this is everyone's business. Make an effort to recognise warning signs, listen to survivors and speak up. For more info, head to Full Stop Australia. And it is, of course, a season-long initiative in WNBL 25. Greg Heyer has an update for us on court. Of course, Amy Atwell is unavailable to suit up here in this one. And Greg, you've got an update.
Thanks, Liam. That's right. I had the opportunity to speak to Amy before the game. She gave a little glimpse without giving too much away for obvious reasons. She's just got a bit of a grizzly knee. She actually has suffered significant knee injuries in the past, so they're treating that with extra precaution. This isn't a new injury as such. She suffered it just on the eve of the season tip-off, which she's absolutely gutted, but she had a very heavy off-season with the Phoenix Mercury and obviously the Olympics, so we'll hopefully see her soon.
Thank you, Greg. Having a good time regardless, Larissa, which is good to see.
Always good to see them having fun on the sideline.
I'll miss her, though, that's for sure. And certainly when you hear knee injury, you want to be taking absolutely no risks. Third quarter underway. Mansfield and the Fire to bring us back into action. Rolling. Infringed on the handoff. It'll be against Gibertoni.
So Perth very aggressive there off the bat, up and in. I mean, they got called the foul, but I like that they've started aggressively here defensively.
What changes will we see in the locker room? A half-time break, Mansfield's. Ellis. Box again from distance. Maley. Sung her praises at half-time. 12 points in the second quarter for Annalie. Annalie Wilson. Defended tightly by Abby Ellis. Soa lost the defender. Downtown hit. Another one for Perth. They hit on 8 in the first half.
Some really nice little actions there from Perth. That was Townsville just struggled to keep up there, and Miller doesn't need much time to pull the trigger there.
Ellis. The other way for Townsville. It's Cox in the posts. Fading away. Maley flipped over to Gibertoni. Soa with a hot hand.
That's their game right there. You've got to find shooters. I mean, and Miller is such a hot shooter from the three-point line. That's back-to-back baskets for her.
Cox, honey here, gambled for the steal. It's Woods the other way. And Froling. They had 11 of those offensive rebounds in the first half. And that is worrying signs for Ryan Petrick.
Right now, that's the difference. Townsville have 25 rebounds at the half to Perth's 10.
That is a huge difference in just 20 minutes of play. Ellis rejects the screen. Mansfield back to a one-point ball game. Townsville have led for almost all of this one so far.
Great pass.
Another dime for Mansfield. Their passing has been sublime in this one.
Perth just struggling to contain one-on-one there, so split line has to come across, and credit to Townsville, they're finding the open player under the basket.
Gibertoni. Oh, Ellis hit the deck. Froling releasing Woods.
Oh, well
that was
done
out
there.
of bounds. Woods plays through the whistle. The Perth crowd incensed.
No, Woods did a great job then. Technically, she was out of bounds, but she didn't have the ball.
Soa, Millie. Active start so far in this one, Greg.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and there's telltale signs that Townsville Fire don't start reducing those three-point attempts. Right now, the Perth Lynx are at 10 for 16, shooting, I think it's above 60%. I'm not good at maths, but if that's my calculations correct, that would be a very impressive figure. And if you start treading carefully, you're going to get into it. You don't want to get into a shootout with the Perth Lynx.
No, you do not. Mila Soa, one of the reasons why. It was a turnover. Trying to correct her error, and it's a foul call as a result on Miller. Second personal on her. Here's a better look at it.
Yeah, Yeah, I think that's a fair call. I mean, Alicia Froling clearly had possession there, but they are allowing a lot of contact to go. So the players are probably asking the question why that one and not another one. But whether they're discussing another unsportsmanlike, that would be a bit rough.
Referees have a conference and we'll find out in just a moment. Froling gains possession and so diving in, trying to make a play, but it does look like a pretty clear call.
And just deemed a normal foul, which I think is a good call also.
I think so. Woods will bring us in. Ellis. Cox providing the screen. Another late shot clock situation. Got to get it up, and they don't. Another shot clock buzzer goes against Townsville.
That's the third. I mean, it's right there on the top of the backboard, but look, from experience, I know it is so hard to hear anything on that court. It is so loud, so girls on the floor have to talk to each other there.
Honey here, downhill.
Great charge. That's an easy call.
Perth fans have found their voice.
They sure have. And so they should. Get behind your team. But that's an easy one.
Froling knew it straight away. Mansfield has 6 assists and counting in this one. This pick and roll situation has been a key reason why. Woods driving baseline. No cuts came, so she went herself.
Great little reverse counter layup there. You can see Perth Lynx have changed their pick and roll defense. Oh, another.
Soa is on fire in the third.
That's 3 for 3 to start the third quarter. You've got to find her. That's a heat check.
It is, and as a team, a heat check. They've let so many of these threes go. There's Froling downhill for 2. They've let so many of them go in the first 8 seconds of the shot clock.
That is their game, so there is just no excuse to not find the shooters, particularly when someone's hot.
Honey here, again off the dribble and denied by Cox.
She times those blocks really nicely.
She sure does, especially with the 2 personal fouls to her name early on. Lauren Cox, as Chibatoni will take a break.
As we see Gorman come back in, so expect her coming. Gorman loves an early 3 as well, so she's clearly got a license to come in here and make an impact.
Yeah, Gorman's hit from long range. They've got 6 different players on the score sheet who have connected on triples. Perth. Annie here. Wilson. Felicia Annie here, this time inside the arc, and Lauren Cox has gone back-to-back blocks. Swallowed up defensively.
I'd like to see Amy here. They're clearly, Townsville are clearly digging off her to crowd the likes of Wilson and Annalee Maley. She's got to shoot that. She made a 3 in the first half. Let it fly.
Ellis attacking the cup. What a find she's been. Stepping up at point guard for the Fire, Abby Ellis. Oh, Wilson followed her own miss and a big collision. Courtney Woods knew it immediately and will make sure she's okay. Incidental contact. Thankfully, Ali Wilson looks to be all right. Going for the basketball.
Who called basketball a non-contact sport, huh?
Right.
Love it.
Especially in this one.
That's the fun part of the game. These girls are going hard. It's a great game.
Honey here, left unattended. Cox. That pass was risky. Gorman.
Yep.
Oh, and another goes for Perth. They are scintillating from the land of plenty.
Credit to Gorman. No matter what minute she plays, what role she plays, she's ready to go.
Ellis, Froling, slipping the screen. Hand it over to her big. That time out of bounds. Halfway through this third quarter, it's a one-possession ball game, Greg Hire.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I love the impact that Steph Gorman's having off the bench, and this is why Larissa Anderson played for so many years and so respected. She touched on Amy here, and that indecisiveness that is now starting to creep into their game, which will impact the way Lynx play as Ali Wilson shoots a three and misses. But what we're seeing now is a little bit of impact from Lauren Cox and those blocks. If that spacing now starts crowding in, it's the potency of that three-point shooting from the Lynx will start really struggling. So she definitely needs to start letting that fly.
And I'm not quite sure why she's being all of a sudden thinking twice about that. She's had such a strong first half, so she really does need to keep backing herself, because it is starting to hurt them a little bit that she's second-guessing. It is allowing Townsville to really crowd and make it really difficult for that player movement.
Ellis. Oh, it's Woods. Driving straight at Wilson. Tapped out by Maley. Oh, Wilson pushing the pace and stripped her. Lauren Cox fell out, though, to Annalie. No call. Will play through it. Letitia Ami here. This is chaotic.
It really is. I think they're all expecting a foul to be called, but Cox, the timing of her blocks, not only is she really tall, like she's a legit centre, but she's got great timing, so she's a big force in there.
Chaotic, yes, but this is just the way Perth likes it.
Absolutely.
Cox. Paige Morrell kicks back into the ball game. Here she is defending in the posts. Maley another board. And Troy Carr.
Oh.
Wilson ready for the skip pass. Ford dealers love to see their WNBL sporting heroes and Aussie families conquering their goals. And it's easy to conquer the everyday in the 7-seat Ford Everest Sport SUV. Find the Everest that's right for you at your local Ford dealer. Big supporters of WNBL Wednesdays. Remains a three-point advantage for Townsville. Cook. Short on the J. Wilson. Maley this time penetrating. Combining with Ali Wilson, another one goes.
You can see now that Perth Lynx have 5 shooters out on the floor. It's opened up again for that penetration and kick.
3-point numbers for Perth just continue to climb. Well on their way to reaching 23-point makes potentially in the game. They'll keep this up. Courtney Woods off the glass.
Yeah, a whopping 60% for Perth from the three-point line. That's tough to guard.
Some number. And Troy Card wasn't far away. And a travel on Ellis.
Oh, gosh. It is so physical out there. The players are like looking to what they're going to call. They really are letting them play, which from our point of view is great to watch. From the player point of view, they're probably getting a bit frustrated.
Well, it's been great to watch. Big minutes from Annalie Maley.
So the Perth Lynx have already doubled their rebounds already in this third quarter. Just goes to show the difference.
Made that adjustment. Morrell stays with Perth.
They had 10 rebounds at halftime. They're now on 20 with 8 offensive boards, which is a great adjustment by Perth.
They drew even moments ago before that Courtney Woods bucket. Good defense from the Townsville Fire that time. Two and a half remaining in the third. Block. First points in the first minutes rather in the second half. Fowler rips and goes. And the call on Clint Choikard. That'll be number 3 on Clint Choikard. Baseline out of bounds for the Fire. And a call before the ball went inbounds.
I think Courtney Woods has slipped over, so they've, from what I can see, I don't know whether there was any contact, we missed it, but she was clearly on the floor, so they're looking to wipe the floor.
Here's a better look at it. Woods comes to set the screen.
Oh, yeah, no, they've called a foul. There was contact. You've got to go around the screen.
Well, in that case, that'll be 4 on Clint Troycart.
And some bonus points for Woods.
Now up to 21 in the ball game, Courtney Woods. Chibatoni. Lock. Some high-octane defensive pressure employed from the Fire on this possession. Honey here, kick out. 2 seconds, got to get it up. They will not in time.
Townsville doing a fantastic job now at clogging that key up, just to make it that little bit more difficult for Perth with that ball and player movement that they thrive on.
First shot clock, a violation against Perth. Lock with the handoff. Gorman really got there. Woods somehow able to recover. Woods. Oh, and denied by Amy here. Woods thought she saw the gap. And Letitia rose up.
She's done that a couple of times this game. She also has, Amy also has great timing. Very athletic and long. Deceivingly, apparently.
Fox.
Got to put it up.
Put it up in time. Ellis did well along the baseline.
Another offensive rebound for Townsville.
Gorman is there poking at it. Backcourt violation.
I'd be asking the same question. That's an interesting call there. If we see, did it come off Woods' foot? Yeah, to me, that looks like it's off Gorman's foot, so that's a tough call.
Really tough to tell from that angle, but that's what Shannon Seabohm thinks as well.
Yep, unfortunately, moving on.
And here. Some third period from Sowa. And she continues with that trend.
Shooting at a really nice clip, Soha, too.
Up to 19 points now in the game, Sowa. Lock. Inside, Morell, a hand to it. Fowler. Another good defensive set from Perth.
We can see it's a game of 2 halves. First half was all about run and gun and both teams piling the points on. Now they're struggling to score, both teams being really aggressive defensively. So I think we know what was spoken about in the change room.
Risky pass, and then Woods followed up with a steal in the finish.
Great job by Courtney Woods. She just does not stop working.
Honey here. Got to go, end of 3, and it is a 2-point ball game. Well, on the back of that, Courtney Woods lay in, make it 4. 67 plays 63. And here it is again on the Courtney Woods steal. This one has been a lot of fun on your Wednesday night. Stayed with the play the whole way, Larissa Anderson.
Relentless, absolutely relentless.
Do not go anywhere. 10 minutes remain. It is Townsville by 4 at the final break.
Big thank you as well to City and Sports taking care of all the training on course. Your favourite sessions bonus on air game. Come to the City and groups and travel management solutions are competitive, innovative and customised to your unique travel needs. Visit cityandsport.com.au to learn more. Once again, a huge shout out to all of our partners. Alinta Energy, Northern Star, Resource Defenders, River Fixer, Picture Sports, Powerway, Industry Plus, Sterling Partners, a number of Enders Brothers, Omega Home Service Partners, Possibly Rank, IMAR, Business Insurance Expert, Focus Basketball.
Physical, fast contest here tonight for your WNBL Wednesdays. Lynx and the Fire, two teams in the top four last season. They look well in contention to do so once again in WNBL 25. Liam Ellison and Larissa Anderson with you on the call. Larissa, Perth have just been electric from three.
They are shooting a whopping 59%, which is just, and you would think that would come down from the first half, but credit to them, they really are shooting it beautifully.
Mila Sowa, I should say. 11 points for her in that third quarter. 3 3-pointers. She really got hot in a hurry, which we know she can do.
Well, that's the thing about Perth, though. It's been Miller in the third quarter. It was Annalie Maley and Ali in the first half. Like, you just can't leave them. Gorman comes off the bench. They can all shoot the three, and they're all having their little turns at getting hot.
Ali Wilson, 12 points as well for Perth. And the Lynx crowd looking to cheer their side home. Townsville protecting this two-possession lead. Underway in the fourth with Amy here. Gorman. Some good minutes off the bench. Chibatoni. Greg Hires courtside. Greg, have we got you there?
Talking about the breakdown. Yes, you've got me right here and there. We've got Ryan Petrick talking about the defensive breakdowns, especially talking about Courtney Woods, how potent she is off her right hand, so forcing off her left. Whereas Shannon Seaborn discussed staying disciplined, telling him to go through the whole possessions, the whole 23, 24 seconds of shot clock, because that's when Perth Lynx defense will break down. So really excited for this last quarter.
Thanks, Greg. Woods. Fowler extra pass.
Yep, such a good job all the way to the end. So they get a nice open high percentage layup.
Doing just Wilson. Test came from Locke. Laura Mansfield protects and controls. Then Reward with a steal. Relentless defense.
Great pass.
Pass ahead to Clinch Hoycard and the foul. It'll go on Froling. That's number 3 on her. Strip. Mila Soa. Clinch Hoycard did well to run the lane. 2 shots at the line.
Probably too close for her. Perth maybe need to start taking their free throws from the 3-point line, I think, with their percentage tonight.
It'd probably help the cause, wouldn't it? 59% from 3, 40% from the free throw line.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. Mansfield has doubled. You see it into the front court. Numbers if they go quick. Woods stepped out of bounds.
The cheap step, yep. Just stepped backwards before. That was such a good drive and good ball movement too.
Did everything right. Just unlucky there.
Except stayed in court, yeah.
Maley back in off the bench.
Great job by Townsville.
Read it like a book. Froling. Locke was there, but just stay with the play. And Gorman, that is a team lifter.
And that's foul number 4 on Froling. After such good D here, she needed to just power that up. Too worried about the contact.
Flip the script as Froling looks to be waltzing into an open 2, and now she's hitting the pine with 4 personals.
That was really unfortunate for Froling. I was just about to say how up in the lanes Townsville are and what a great job they are at doing that. It's really disrupting Perth here. You can see the lack of ball movement.
That feels like a big moment in this contest. With the Lynx out, a comeback. Cox got a hand in. Great instincts from Cox defensively.
That's block number 4.
And it's 2 weeks in a row as well that she's registered 4 blocks. Ami here, pump fake. And count the bucket. Chance for another.
I think that's only foul number 3 on Cox, so...
One at the line for Letitia Ami here. The Signet WNBL season launch kicking off at their reimagined store in Melbourne Central. Celebrate the hoop season by grabbing the latest kicks and apparel at your nearby Foot Locker, the official major partner of the WNBL.
Just like that, it's only 4 points.
Cox. There's a waiting help of the guard on Lauren Mansfield. Energy stepped up a notch here. Ami here got a hand to it. Nia Locke got to go. Over the back pass. And
another.
That is the 4th shot clock buzzer that has expired for Townsville.
That's where they're so disciplined for the most part getting through their sets. It's just hurt them a little bit tonight that they clearly can't hear the call as the shot clock winds down.
Part of the reason why is this energised and engaged Perth crowd. Soa, deep triple.
Great block out there by Townsville. They've had to go a bit smaller here, Townsville being in with Froling in foul trouble. Foul is now in the 4.
Ellis. Start the offense for the Fire with 7 seconds. Woods.
Ooh.
Another big collision between these two. Incidental head contact.
Oh dear.
Oh dear indeed. Wilson will have to see that attended to. And that's got to hurt. Hopefully these two are okay. They've both played such pivotal roles in the contest.
Yeah, they really have. They both seem okay, just blood rule for them both. It was a
eyes for the basketball.
pretty nasty high five of the heads right there.
And Wilson hoping to rip away the basketball. So 5:40 remaining in the fourth quarter. Greg High, this has been a physical, tough contest.
I think that's putting it lightly. I think Courtney Woods didn't win that battle. She has a shiner and a half on her forehead, so I imagine just the way that we treat this with all seriousness, we might not see her return to action, which is quite dangerous. Need to touch on the impact that Steph Gorman has. Basketball is a game of runs and more so a game of percentages. That play that when Alicia Folling gets a steal, Steph Gorman has a chase down possession, could be the game changer, and since that time we've seen now the Perth Lynx crowd get straight into it, as I can barely hear myself. But hopefully Ali Wilson and Courtney Woods are perfectly fine and we see him return back to the court.
Yeah, certainly hope so, and I do agree. I feel like that could be a play that we come back to at the end of regulation that really impacted things for Perth.
Totally agree. As also, I mean, it's exactly what you want from your bench players, coming in, instantly having an impact, which Gorman has done every single time she stepped on the floor, whether it be scoring or now defense.
Back underway from the baseline. Fire basketball. Cox, immediate trigger.
Why not? That's a big basket.
She can clearly stroke it. Another three for Cox. Here's Chibatoni. Gorman. Couple of big plays as Greg High noted. Letitia Ami here, stepping out of range. Seven-point advantage, Townsville. Mansfield, you feel, Larissa, that you're really going to call upon her now with Courtney Woods sitting out.
Hopefully I've seen Courtney Woods give the thumbs up that she's good to go, just having a head check, but yeah, the protocol might kick in here. So yeah, Lauren Mansfield's going to have to play a really big role here down the stretch.
Loses the defender, snap dribble through. Ami here, strong on the glass.
Wondering when he'll pull the Shannon Seabom will pull the trigger and get Folling back in.
Soa to the rack. .21 on the ball game for Mila Soa. Cox down the lane, wanted the and one.
Yeah, she was annoyed, didn't feel that was such a good take, really aggressive.
I speak about imports often take a little while to adjust to the league. Well, Lauren Cox has well and truly adjusted to life in the WNBL.
She really has. So if this is game 2, it's a really exciting sign for Fire fans.
Out of Baylor, the NCAA, 41 WNBA games across 3 seasons since graduating in 2020, and Cox good on the seconds. Chibatoni.
Tough finish over Cox.
Falling out of bounds as well.
Absolutely, but she stayed balanced. She's got really good centre of gravity on her finishes. She's very strong.
Approaching crunch time. Soa rips and goes, and net by Mansfield. Whistles away here in Perth.
And the crowd lets them know about it too.
Mansfield's. Fowler now, and Chibatoni rises up for the denial. Soa has been the Energizer Bunny in the second half for Perth.
Great bounce pass.
And a great seal.
Yeah, absolutely. That was really nice.
Ami here putting together a really nice game. 16 points to her name. Mansfield, Soa left the defender. Lock, can't make him pay.
Great to see Woods ready to check back in.
That is terrific news. Gorman. 3 minutes remaining in this contest.
Nice work.
On the roll. 2 more for Letitia Ami here.
Soa and Ami here got a nice two-man game happening there, the last 2 possessions.
They do. As do these two. Mansfield and Cox. It's Abby Ellis. Inside and using that length to cut it off.
Yeah, you've got to pass the ball a lot higher to Cox. Ami here's shown she's got great hands.
Courtney Woods checking back in. That is great news for Townsville.
Look at this. 2 heads taped up. Warriors. Love it.
Yeah, well said.
There's a game to win. Tape me up. Get me back out there.
2 competitors. Just a couple of minutes on the sidelines and they're ready to go.
That's a little bit Andrew Gaze-esque back in the day. Remember when he was wrapped up like a mummy?
Yes, of course.
And he's so hard to stop bleeding out of the head. It's really the only way to do it.
Yeah, that spot in the eyebrow.
It just opens up.
75 apiece. Perth haven't led since the opening stages. Skipper Courtney Woods with some words. See if we can have a listen to this timeout.
Hey, get out touch now inside. Shakes power. Shakes power, right? So come off the screen, lift, throw back, roll, seal, get it in there. Yep, for her, right? Next play though, go horns up again, because Maylee's trying so hard to suck this up. Right? Start with the elbow, let her get into you, whatever. Right, when we come off the handoff, hold coming off the back screen, right? Go out, when she jumps back, right? See if we can get 1 layup against that, right? Yep. And then after that, shake power, throw it back and in. Do you want it on the left side though? Yeah, right? So first one horns up, right? Next one, hey, come down.
His 6th season with the Townsville Fire, Shannon Seabom, 8th in the WNBL, and some words there out of the timeout, looking to make some adjustments.
Yeah, I really love the composed heads of their 2 leaders there in Woods and Mansfield. Just telling the girls we've got 2.5 minutes to go, do all the little things that count, stay composed, we've got this, and then Shannon just trying to run a couple of plays to counteract what Perth are doing defensively. So we'll see what they get, what they play here.
Greg Hire was listening in to Ryan Petrick's huddle. Greg.
Yeah, huge emphasis there on pushing the pace, saying that Townsville do not want to run. So he said, go, go, go. Now, a little scoop. You would have not seen it. The cameras couldn't get there and so close, but I was right there. Ami here has a little slight foot issue. I'm not sure if it's just a blister, but she didn't have her shoes on for the whole entirety of the timeout, as Folling and Maylee have a little tussle.
Just another one. But we love it. That is just classic. Both coaches are just sticking with what their preferred game plan is. Shannon is slow it down, let's execute. Ryan is just go, go, go. So we'll see whose favourite turns in the last 2 minutes.
We've been treated to a good one in the West. Perth take the lead since the opening quarter.
That's so disciplined.
Cox smoked the lay-in. She can go again, and that is tough.
That is really tough. But so disciplined by Townsville there to get that open layup.
Lead changes hands once more. Maylee for 3.
That was a tired shot then. She was wide open.
Ellis.
So we'll see Townsville try and use the clock again here and get another high percentage look in the half court.
Soa has really made the Townsville guards earn it. Doubled inside and a foul call.
I'm giggling because Alice really made sure the refs had something to look at then, but that's smart heads-up play.
We've got to do it.
Well, it worked. It paid off for her on that occasion. And fair to say the Perth Lynx fans are not happy about it.
They haven't let much go tonight. They've been terrific in their support. Fresh 14 for Townsville. Woods back out there after that head knock.
Losing the shot clock. I know. Great look. That's a great look.
Froling hoop and harm. 25 points to her name on the evening.
It's been one area that's kind of lacked for Perth. They've played behind the post, and Townsville have done such a good job at sealing and punishing that. Perth really need to try and get in front.
Double-double with 3 steals. And the extra at the stripe. But Ellis pulls it down.
Another offensive rebound off a free throw. That's, yeah. That's really let Perth down.
Continue to mount the offensive rebounds, Larissa. 17 of them in the ball game.
It makes a huge difference when you're getting, and that's the night for Alicia Froling. She needs to not risk and just not reach there. That's a real shame. But with a minute to go, that's really unfortunate.
She's been excellent.
She's been so good. She wants to not get a technical here as well.
And 3 throws down the other end. It's costly.
But let's see what Perth's percentage from the free throw line is.
For a quick and easy weeknight dinner that the whole family will enjoy. Pick up a family pack of Latina fresh pasta and sauce, ready in minutes. And so delicious, there won't be any complaints at the dinner table. Find Latina Fresh in a chilled pasta aisle near you.
So that's 8 free throws that Perth have missed, and it's a 2-point ball game. That's where free throws really can cost you.
Yeah, really can in a close game. That's a coach killer. Fowler. Moves around that screen. Hawks there posting up.
Great job again.
Has position on Ami here.
That's just so disciplined by Townsville. That's clearly out of the timeout. They're looking to go inside, and they've done a great job of getting that done.
Flexing her muscle in the 4th. Lauren Cox now has 17. Wilson down the boulevard.
Big play. Potential 3-point play there.
A chance for 3 the old-fashioned way. Ali Wilson is a warrior. Flipped it up. Not looking at the basket. Great finish.
That's now 4 on Cox too.
But this has been the Achilles heel of Perth. Converts the 3-point play. 30 seconds on the clock and a turnover. Wilson got there. That is huge, trailing by 1. Regaining the basketball. Wilson, screen provided from Ami here. Step back, Jay. Ami here got a hand to it, but Ellis, and they had to foul.
My goodness.
They'll be in the bonus. So Abby Ellis with 2 free throws. 9.4 in the game clock.
Let's see how the youngster goes with the pressure and away. She's had such a strong game, Alice. This is two very big free throws.
Ellis, nylon on the first. Where to from here for Ryan Petrick and the Lynx? Townsville on the road. And Ellis.
Well done, Alice.
Is true from the line. Puts her side up by 3. That was clutch from the first-year pro.
It really was. When you look in comparison, the free throw percentage, 72 Townsville to 50% Perth Lynx. It's a big difference when it's only a 3-point ball game.
It is, and as you noted earlier, Larissa, I mean, they're shooting it less of a clip from the free throw line that they are from 3.
You don't see that happen too often, but if there's ever a team, Perth Lynx shoot phenomenally from the 3-point line.
And that is the margin going into this final 9.4.
So Perth drawing up a play here. They're 3 down, 9.4 seconds. be interesting to see who they go to here, because all of them have been hot at different stages. So
yeah, it's options galore, isn't it?
They've really got options everywhere here.
So one of the first names that comes to mind, Ali Wilson as well.
There's a few names, isn't there?
Yeah.
But those two would be your two main ones that you'd think that they go to here. But we know that Gorman's more than capable also if given the opportunity.
And it will be Gorman to inbounds. We'll get it in via Annie here.
There
Wilson,
it is.
Early three ball, just strong back heel. Cox, the important rebounds. Immediate whistle. And they've peeled off 5.4 on the game clock. Gee, that wasn't far away on that three.
No, but it was probably a lot more contested than what they were hoping. So great job there by Townsville.
Yeah, they did well not to foul as well on the process.
That's Annalie Maley's night over on that 5th foul.
Leaves the door ajar. Important buffer for Townsville. Make it 4 points the margin.
Let's see if a 4-point play can be drawn up here. 3 in the foul.
Townsville were smart in the last play, weren't they, with fouling? So it's a tough one, isn't it? How do you go about it? It's got to be a 3, Larissa.
It's a 3 and a quick foul, yeah.
No surprises to hear that call from Shannon Seabom. So it's got to be the first pass off the inbound, really, doesn't it?
It's really got to be a catch and shoot pretty quickly here.
Look, Anna here with the screen. Potentially to open up that opportunity. Patrick will draw something out. Both teams in the bonus. It has been some game for your WNBL Wednesdays. Two sides that have started the season looking like real contenders. We'll go with Ami here. Gorman, Sowa, Clinch, Hoykard and Wilson.
It's been such a good game. It's deserved of this finish, I think.
Yeah, totally agree, Larissa. Again, it's Gorman with the duties. Oh, the oop to Annie here.
They ran the same play.
Recovered it. She can let it go, but the Townsville Fire have come into Perth and got the victory, 84-80. A valiant display, and they got it done largely with a rebounding advantage, Larissa.
Yeah, 48 rebounds to 29, that's the ball game right there. I mean, when you give up 17 offensive rebounds, I think Perth did a much better job in the third quarter on the rebounds, but overall that was a really dominant performance inside by Townsville.
We can all take a deep breath. That was physical, up and down, really entertaining.
Absolutely, it had everything there and exactly what you would have hoped for. Both teams had such a good first game. You would expect a good matchup tonight. That's exactly what they gave us.
Yeah, two sides, finalists in season 24. You think in WNBL 25, from what we've seen, it's so early in the season, but they're shaping up well.
And these early wins are really, really valuable because as teams get better and find their feet, if you can get these early wins, you're going to get better and better as well, and you get to face some of these teams when they're not quite at their best yet. So Townsville will be very, very happy to be 2-0.
And especially when you get these wins on the road, that's back-to-back road wins for the Fire.
Absolutely. So they've still got their first home game coming up. So Courtney Wood's looking very happy there, and so she should. She really did put them on her back at times tonight. She was so solid all game.
And that first home game will be against the Bendigo Spirit, Saturday, 16th of November. That's a nice 10-day break off the back of this long trip to Perth. And Greg Heyer on court with the Victors.
Yes, unfortunately, Alicia Froling fouled out with only a few minutes remaining, but what a game from her. 25 points, 10 boards, and a handy 3 steals. Feelings after that very physical encounter?
I think obviously it's only the second game of the season, and I think we'll grow a lot from that game. I think it was great that we found a way to win. We probably didn't execute our game plan perfectly, but in saying that, we still found a way to win, so that's pretty good.
Obviously, your first year at the Townsville Fire. How's the move been? I feel like you're playing with not renewed, but with a sense of confidence.
Yeah, I love being home. I love playing under Shannon and his staff, and I love this team. It's fun basketball. It's team basketball. It's just, yeah, I think it was the right move for me, and I'm really excited to see what we can do this season.
Seems like you're enjoying it, but I feel like you enjoyed today's game. Physical, that's your style of play.
Yes, I do love physical basketball. Bit silly of me to foul out, but the girls got it done. Yeah, I do love physical basketball. I think that's kind of the brand that we're kind of building a little bit too. Yeah, it's always fun.
Awesome. Congratulations. It was a great game.
Thank you.
She stuffed the stat sheet this evening. Alicia Froling, 25 and 10, 3 steals. Only missed on the 2 field goals. Larissa Anderson, how did you see her performance?
It was just a really all-round game for her, inside, outside. Started the game with some great drives, some back-to-the-basket moves. Her offensive rebounding was fantastic. And I think the biggest area, I mean, she's always been great at movement off the ball, but she's so fit right now. She moves off the ball so well into those receiver spots, sneaks around and catches defense not watching. She's just all round. She had a really strong game and great first 2 games.
Yeah, absolutely. And returning home, happy to be back in Townsville, and she's playing like it with the starting role, no doubt.
Absolutely. She played a role last year. Last couple of seasons, she's played more a role. So I think she's obviously thriving on getting that extra opportunity being back home.
Another player who is thriving in the new uniform this season in the Townsville Fire is Lauren Cox.
Yeah, exactly right, Liam. 18 points, 7 boards, a handy 4 blocks. Just talking with her, heralding from Texas, how was that game for yourself? A really great start to the season for yourself.
Yeah, it was super physical. We knew coming here it was going to be a tough game. They're a really good team with a lot of weapons, and we got a tough win today.
A gritty win, and I mean, obviously, you know that with their potency and 3-point shots. What was the tactic heading into a game, knowing that they could always come back?
I think just controlling their pace. They like to run. They like to get threes in transition. We talked about at half. I think they had 8 threes at half, so we tried to take as many of those away that we could. And in the end, what we did worked, and we got the win.
And also, and you did step outside for a couple of threes yourself. Is that something we can maybe see a little bit more during this incredible WNBL season?
Yeah, I think so. I do have the ability to shoot those threes. Shannon wants me to roll a lot, but I will step out occasionally and hit those.
Hey, threes get all the highlights, so stop rolling. But congratulations on an incredible game, and hopefully you enjoy your stay down under.
Lauren Cox has been terrific. Spent time all around the world as a professional, Spain, Italy, now in Australia, and she has excelled. Townsville Fire get it done. They improved to 2-0 on the season. And it was a game that was full of hustle and big defensive plays from both sides. And another 4-block game for Lauren Cox. Impressive.
Second game in, we were discussing earlier in the broadcast that it takes the imports a little while to adjust, but I think, again, great signs from her. A really big presence, a genuine centre presence for them, which I think will be really tough, and it is allowing Alicia Froling to do her thing. So they're a nice balanced team, Townsville, so some good signs early from them.
They are, and I think that their backcourt depth is really encouraging for Shannon Seabom. I mean, Zaya Cook off the bench. You've got Abby Ellis, who has adjusted to life as a pro just brilliantly.
Absolutely. It's, again, they're all playing their role, and Courtney Woods is just stepping her game up to a whole new level as well. So been very, very consistent.
Here's your leaders on the evening. Woods and Froling, 25 apiece, and Mila Sowar, 21 points, most of which largely came in the second half. She really led Perth back into the game.
She's such a beautiful shooter. You cannot leave her, and she will punish you 90% of the time, which she did in that second half. So great to see her hitting some numbers, as did Amy here. I think particularly her first half, she went a little bit more quiet, and I don't know why, not as aggressive in the second half, but still had a great game by her, particularly probably off a quiet first game.
Yeah, spot on. She really raced out of the gates, but I think encouraging signs from Letitia Annie here in just her second game in the WNBL. Of course, we've got an action-packed round 2, don't we? Plenty of games and a few teams with double headers to go through. It'll be a nice break, though, importantly, for the Townsville Fire, who'll head back home. The 10-day break for them. We'll see them next in round 3. Here's your 6-game slate, Larissa. What are you looking forward to when you look at this?
Well, there's a few teams that would be really disappointed from their first round. So particularly Geelong and the Flyers, which we see coming up tomorrow night. Both of them will want to really bounce back. And Geelong getting a second home game in a row, they'll be really disappointed with their first game. But it will take them a while. They're a completely new franchise, new team. Flyers are a really new group as well. So both those teams are probably really looking forward to facing each other tomorrow night. Canberra would also be disappointed in their opening game and coming up against a very exciting looking Spirit. So there's some great games coming up in the next round. So make sure we all get behind them.
Yeah, spot on. Bendigo were fantastic as well in round 1 with their victory over the Adelaide Fire. So this one just about wrapped up, and the Perth Lynx fans, gee, they'll be really happy with what they've seen. Even though they weren't able to get the job done, they win in round 1, and really they brought the energy tonight. But Larissa, it's important to get your season off to a quick start, isn't it?
It really is. So Townsville will be absolutely wrapped with that. And Perth, whilst they'll be disappointed to drop that home game tonight, they were right in there, and some great signs with Amy Atwell to come back in.
Thanks for joining us on WNBL Wednesdays. It's the Fire by 4.